Good
Yo,
morning, good afternoon, good evening to
crazy
everyone.
morning
Hello, Jack.
today. Hey,
Tons of news already, and
I
I
know,
just woke up like an hour ago, so.
I know. Good morning. Yeah, I feel like when we scheduled this stream and we had this idea for what to talk about today, uh, a lot of stuff that has happened
Yeah,
was not even there, and now
right.
there is a ton to talk about today, all about Elon buying Twitter. What the heck is going on? There's tons of news happening. I'm sure some of you have seen some of it. I'm sure a lot of you have not seen all of it. I'm sure we haven't seen all of it or the end of it. I'm
I
sure there
know.
will be more drama coming.
Yeah,
But holy cannoli,
as we
Grace, we got a
speak.
lot to talk about today about Twitter.
I know. And people are excited. Hello, everyone who is ready to see this and excited because
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, there's just a lot going on. I feel like it's hard to piece together. We've been like looking at articles all week and it's still hard to piece together. So hopefully we can clarify a little bit of what's going on or just what this means for like people using the platform at least. Yeah, I'm excited to get into it. I feel like we need like a list of like everything that's been said so far.
I know.
Or something.
Well, I have a bunch of articles I can pull up and
Nice.
share. So let's just start off, I guess, with like the obvious. So Elon bought Twitter. If you guys didn't see, he did it with this weird video of the sink.
Oh
do you,
yeah.
Do you remember?
His like little pun. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me. I'm gonna try and throw that up here. Here we go. So this is how it all started. Entering Twitter HQ. Let that sink in. Okay. So he immediately started trolling, and everyone was like, okay, what the heck's going on? So
To be honest, when I saw this video, I literally thought he was just being like making a joke. He was like, "Oh, I'm just visiting Twitter, ha ha ha." I didn't realize that was like, oh my god, wait, he like bought Twitter.
Yes. So then he bought Twitter. As we recall, he was going to, and there was that whole drama months ago. This was like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And then we found out he was the CEO. And then we got a bunch of these tweets. The first
Let the
big
tweets
thing,
begin.
The tweets begin of Elon. The first big thing I'm sure you all saw is Twitter Blue. So initially it was going to be $20 a month. Now it looks like it's going to be $8 a month. It looks like the verification and the blue check marks are going to be accessible to anyone. Power to the people. Blue for $8 a month. So pretty much anyone will be able to get verified now, which I think is kind of insane. Let's start off with that.
Yeah, the Twitter Blue $8 a month thing. That's been like a huge topic on Twitter itself of people like, I don't want to pay $8 for a blue check mark. And I think honestly, I'm not exactly clear on if anyone did he actually say anyone could apply, and that's like confirmed, because I feel like people kept like debating that.
To me, this says it all. Like, Twitter's current lords and peasants system for who has and who doesn't have a check mark is BS. Like, to me, that means whether you're a peasant or a lord, you will be able to get a blue check mark.
Right. Because right now, how does it work today? It's like you have to kind of apply to say that you basically have to literally tell Twitter, like, I'm a relevant person in this realm. Here are links where I have been mentioned in the press, or like, here's like proof that I'm like a person of like authority on a topic. And then you get it. So it's it's kind of a black box of like how you get one. There's, what is it, like 400,000 people have one out of every Twitter user?
That's right. Yeah. And oftentimes people get rejected. It's pretty tough to get one unless you work at like a major business that has connections. But yeah, I mean, this is theoretically his way to stop scammers and spammers and bots. But I don't really understand this, because now it seems like anyone, scammer or bot included, will be able to buy Twitter Blue, get verified, could pretend to be Elon Musk, right? Could respond to tweets and then get priority in replies, mentions, and search. Which to me seems like it's opposite of the point.
Yeah, it's like, there's so many people that were like, okay, what if I pretended I was you, Elon? I changed my name, I changed my profile picture, then I would be at the top. And it's like, that feels like the whole point. I think I feel like the Twitter like verification badge conversation is like, it's getting a little bit farther from like the whole point of the system to me, which was like to make sure that people are who they are on that platform. Like if you're a famous person, I think it started because Oprah wanted to get on Twitter, but she was like, there's so many other fake Oprah accounts. Like how will people know I'm the actual Oprah? And then they started like, okay, you have this badge, which means that you're the real one.
Yeah.
So if everyone's verified, then it's like, no one knows who the real anyone is.
Yeah. I want to know from you guys in the chat, would you pay for Twitter Blue to get verified? Grace, would you?
I feel like if it's like a question of keeping the verification thing, okay, I personally wouldn't, not for my personal account, but like we have a Kapwing account, like maybe that would be helpful to like keep that verification status. But I think it really depends on like, then if everyone has the verification thing, what does that even mean anymore? It just means you get like nice Twitter features. And I don't know if that's worth it, you know? So I think like for me, this question really hinges on if anyone can just apply for it and just pay and you should get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I wouldn't personally for my personal account. I don't really tweet at all
that's fair.
and much anymore. I mean, I feel like I also am not sure, which we'll get to later in the episode, if Twitter is going to survive this. So it
dun.
it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can get more into that actually.
This is an interesting comment. They should have different colors. Interesting. Honestly, I kind of support that. I think it's like, it's one thing if you're paying for a service. It's another thing if you've been designated as like an authority figure or whatever you want to call it. Like you are the real XYZ celebrity.
Yeah.
That feels more aligned with the system.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's get into some of the other drama that he's been causing. Yeah. So firstly, we have seen that today we're bracing for a bunch of Twitter layoffs. So this is going to be allegedly thousands of Twitter employees who are going to be laid off, cutting up to around 50% of the company from what we've heard. Because Twitter is not that profitable or really profitable at all. They have a lot of employees, and he views them as dispendable right now. And also, in my opinion, my feeling is that, so he bought Twitter for $44 billion, right? He put in the bid when the stock market was like pretty high, like, I don't know, 6 months ago or even more. And then now, like, if you look at tech stocks, they're down like 75%, 70%, 60%. Like now Twitter's probably not worth 44 billion. So like now he's got to even try and make all that up. It's just a disaster.
Right. I think it's like he's in a rush for Twitter to make more money. But like one, because the stock market is just down and Twitter's not as valuable as it was when he put the bid in. But I think also, like, I was reading something that was saying that he basically borrowed against Twitter itself, like $13 billion to pay for the acquisition of Twitter because he didn't have enough cash or like investors were like pulling out, which puts the pressure on even more. It's like Twitter was barely profitable to begin with, and now they have this huge debt that the interest alone was like $1 billion a year. So I could see why he's like in a rush to like make money, but think that's going to be
Right.
worrying if like he's rolling out stuff and changing things up for the people on the like creators on the platform, just whatever he feels like doing any other day, you know, that's like, it just becomes, Twitter's becoming like a volatile place, I think, in a lot of people's minds of like, who knows, like we might wake up tomorrow and it's like you've been locked out of your account because you didn't pay your $8 thing or whatever, you know, it's like, he hasn't said that, but who knows what's going to happen. I think that's like the fear now. That
and not only that, but like you might just like the website itself and the infrastructure might like just go to nothing because so if we're reducing the company by 50%, also he's potentially getting sued for mass layoffs without notice, which is new today. So like if that wins this lawsuit and Twitter has to pay like a ton of money, that could also screw up Twitter. And then they might just start putting even more things behind a paywall. We've talked about this before, how around 50% of Twitter's revenue is what Elon wants subscription-based models to bring in revenue. Right now, it's around 8%.
Yikes.
So like if you want to make it 50%, you're going to have to bring in a ton of more paywall features, which they're also looking at putting videos behind a paywall, which is strange given that like other video platforms are so huge and free, like YouTube and TikTok. And he's trying to bring Vine back now, apparently, which is just like, what? Like, focus on one thing, dude. I don't know. Like, he literally just got into the CEO position, and now he's trying to do everything.
Everything, yeah, literally.
Which is intense.
And I think it's been like a week, right? I think, and it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's just throwing everything. And it's like, not even like these are rumors. Oh, like he's talking to people internally and then somehow someone's leaking that information and people are reporting. No, he's like literally on his Twitter, like tweeting out all of these things all at once from himself. And it's like, people, how are we supposed to know if this is legit, if it's just an idea? Like, are you actually thinking about doing this?
Yeah, well, like watching Twitter Blue go from $20 a month to $8 a month, that's an example, right? Of like, he doesn't really know what he's doing. He's just kind of like going with it and winging it, which is interesting for like such a huge social media. Like I would consider Twitter a top 5 social media for sure. This is not like a small project. And so this is just insane. I want to talk.
think for the Twitter Blue thing, just quickly, like I think he was saying that it was like the teams that were working on it had to implement it by November 7 or sometime in the next few days, or they were all fired, which is like, I don't know. Yeah, maybe this goes back to like the Twitter employees of like, if you're going to treat people like that, and if you're going to run a company like this, yes, you might be like putting features out very quickly, but what if people just leave? What if the employees are just like, you know what, I don't want to work at a place like this. I mean, you've fired like some huge percentage of the company already. Now it's like the people that are left probably are doing twice as much work, and it's not necessarily a fun place to work anymore. I don't know. Like, yeah, Twitter, like companies essentially depend on the people that work there. If there's no one that works there, you can't get anything done. But we will see.
It's going to be intense. I'm sure, like, just knowing that you have like a 50% chance of being laid off, I'm sure everyone's already looking for jobs too. Like, yeah, it's just a crazy situation. I do want to talk more about what this means for users and creators though. So firstly, I think Twitter's pretty much the only main social media where you don't actually have a chance to make money from the app itself. Like obviously you can make money through advertisers, through your own brand deals, but Twitter is not paying anyone to be on it in the way that YouTube is, or even TikTok is starting to get better at that. Do you think that this like subscription model might make it easier for people to make money on Twitter?
I think there's potential. I think I think it's going back to this like, yeah, paywalled content, exclusive content. I don't know how many people, I think there's some percentage, but I feel like not as many people would be interested in paying for just features on the Twitter platform versus people who would be willing to pay for exclusive content from people they really like, which is the whole reason they're on the platform, you know? Like, I think at the end of the day, we're not there to like use the like button as like a way to save our favorite tweets as like the main reason, you know? You're there for the content. And so, yeah, it's kind of interesting that for so long, like, you weren't able to monetize at all on Twitter, even though the whole point is like the people's content. So I think this will like potentially provide more routes for people to make money. Like, I think the video paywalling thing, it seemed like maybe the money actually will go to the creators whose video it is as opposed to Twitter. But I just think like if they're going to be experimenting so quickly and changing it up on creators so fast, I don't like, that seems not the way to go about it. Like, I think it's better to roll out one program, one very understandable thing that people can actually like rely on for some amount of time, even if it's still an experiment, versus just like all over the place all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. What do you think, Jack?
Yeah. I mean, I think like, I always feel this way, which is like, okay, Twitter is such a huge company. They have a leg up like against smaller companies. Like I could see them pulling a Patreon, right? Or pulling almost like an OnlyFans in a way, like, because true. Like there are already people, with their fans on this. But it just seems like Patreon and OnlyFans, I guess, are pretty good about, that's like what they're there for, right? Like that's their purpose. We know that it's for exclusive content only. This is tough because it's also trying to be like a free social media, right? It's been advertised as free for like its entire existence. Right. So I don't know. Yeah, I think it would be like, that's one of the things too, also, that Stephen King, I don't know if you saw this, but Stephen King and Elon had like a Twitter back and forth. And Stephen King was like, I'm not going to pay for this Twitter Blue thing. Like, you should be paying me to be on this app because like I'm generating content for the app. Right. And like, I just feel like if we don't start seeing creators make money fast, and instead they're being asked to pay money to be on this platform, it's the creators will run, like they will leave. That's
true. I think, and it feels like definitely like the conversation that Elon's been initiating everywhere is like Twitter itself needs to just make money first, and creators are clearly not the priority right this second. And I think that doesn't feel great. And back to like what Stephen King is saying is like, for so long, it's like, it's been about the content. It's always about the content. And maybe they're just in a place right now where they need to make money to survive, but it doesn't feel good to be a creator and be like, wow, no, like you really don't care about us.
So I want to know like 1, 3, 5-year predictions of Twitter. Will Twitter die? I feel like we always ask this also about like TikTok. Right. But now I'm like, maybe this is the one that's really at risk right
now. And everyone in the comments, I also want to hear your perspective. So let us weigh in on this question with us. But I think it's not looking great. I think it's like hard to tell. Like if I had to say a yes or no answer, I think I'm leaning almost more towards yes right now, because, and that could be like, not like necessarily tomorrow, but like maybe in a year or like 5 years, maybe Twitter will not be a thing. I mean, like look how quickly something like Vine was, and that was also Twitter's doing, it's like these companies come and go, and like MySpace, like there's so many examples from the past. And even though they seemed huge at the time, I mean, actually Tumblr's kind of making a comeback now.
Tumblr's kind of making a comeback
because of all this Twitter stuff. But I just really think like you're not giving like the time of day for creators themselves. You are just in so much debt. You're so worried about making money for the company. People, like, if there's no employees at Twitter, or like there's not enough employees at Twitter to maintain it, to like improve on it, I think that could be like the nail in the coffin for them. And that's a really risky place to be in. So
yeah,
I think yes, kind of right now.
for Dawn in the chat, is Twitter pivoting to short form video? Maybe. We've seen, I'll share my screen just a bit again.
Yeah.
Twitter might let users put videos behind a paywall, so it might become, videos might become a paid feature, which would be really weird.
Right.
And also they've talked about, Elon has tweeted about bringing back Vine several times. So it's
signs point to
theoretically
yes.
possible. Yeah. I do think it's weird as well. Like, speaking of, like, will Twitter die? Right. And now we're talking about Vine again, which already died. It's like, is the way to bring back Twitter to like bring back something that's dead and already kind of has a valid replacement, which is TikTok?
Yeah.
Or is this just like a silly way to like drum up excitement for Twitter because there's no new innovative features coming out on it? Which, like, I don't even really know if Twitter needs new innovative features. Like, it's just kind of a place to like chat, but but it seems like Elon, that's not enough for him.
And I think like this kind of goes back to the money thing. Is like, yeah, every social media platform is making their own version of TikTok, Vine, whatever you want to call it. But I think it's like he's seeing it as a way to like grow the platform very quickly, potentially make a lot of money, and like get people using it again, get people using it more. I just think like I was reading some article about how like there's a lot to consider with this Vine project. Like one of the senior engineers who used to work at Vine and was at Twitter now was like, yeah, that code is so old. Like, you're going to need to start from scratch, which is fair. It's like, there's been so many changes. I also think, wasn't Vine more like you follow people and you see their videos in your feed as opposed to like a suggested algorithm? Yeah, totally. That's a big change. Like, you're not just, I don't know. I don't know the details of the code, but it seems like it might be hard to just take the code they already have and just repurpose it. So if that's the case, you're starting from ground zero on a huge video platform that I guess they have video today, but it's like not really anywhere close to like what TikTok is.
Yeah.
So that could just be, I think he was trying to say like, we're going to have like Vine back up by the end of the year, something like that. Like they're trying to target the end of the year, which is crazy. In a month.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, that is in a month. That would be crazy. I mean, it would be like an interesting stunt, but like, would it actually stick? I don't know.
Right. And it's also just another eye roll moment where it's like, okay, like literally every company has pulled this one. Instagram did it. On Facebook itself, they have that now. Snapchat did it. Like, it's just like everyone copying everyone again. And that doesn't, I don't know, that feels like not great.
Yeah.
Also, what if people who like used to use Vine, they're like, do they get their followers back? Do they get their old platform back? Because that might be a place to start, but that would actually get people excited. But part of me like really doubts that too.
Yeah. Here's kind of what I feel as well, which is Twitter is a political media platform, no need for shorts. I kind of agree and disagree. Like, I do agree that it is a place for political chat, and I think more than that, but just like, just for, it's a communication device for conversation rather than entertainment necessarily, like video entertainment, like TikTok is or YouTube is. Like, I feel like it's probably, I would think Twitter is probably the most social media actually. And I would be interested to see that if they go towards video, if that would change and just sort of be another video app. But also, Dawn says, IMO, Elon will pour enough of his own money into Twitter if necessary to keep it from dying, at least in the medium to short term. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I could see that, although he might have to keep taking out loans.
Yeah.
You might have missed this, Dawn, in the beginning, but he actually didn't buy, it seems, all of Twitter in cash. He paid like 13 billion of it in loans. So he had to take loans out and now has to pay a ton of interest on that.
Against Twitter itself. So
Yeah.
it's like a vicious cycle if you keep needing to buy loans against the company itself. That would be horrible.
That's crazy.
But yeah, potentially. I kind of agree. I feel like Elon would like do whatever. Like it's just such a huge investment. Like, you know, I feel like he would do whatever.
Yeah,
he needs to
and
also.
reputation investment, right? Like if
Right.
this completely flops, like, you know, he's done amazing things. Like SpaceX is cool, Teslas are everywhere, but like
Right.
Twitter is the most accessible one, accessible product of any of his products. So like if it dies, that could like really put a damper on his reputation, which is already like, you know, kind of
Right.
unhinged.
It's sliding.
Yeah.
It's sliding.
But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all the drama. What?
I like this comment. If you pay, you should be able to download it and save videos instead of going to other sites to save the video. That's interesting. I feel like that could, well, but people can do that for free already. Like people can download videos for free already. So then why would they pay to get that access? I don't know. That could be an interesting one though. It's like you can use it and repost it and repurpose it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure people would pay just for that though.
Yeah. I'm not really sure that there's like anything I would pay for Twitter. Like
yeah. You're just like,
thing.
I'm not paying you. Yeah.
I'm not paying you is how I feel.
I also think like people might just do it out of like they morally just don't want to like contribute to this now that it's become such a big conversation of like, would you pay for the $8 or not? Like I could see people just being like, no, I just won't. And I think this is also another situation where people are realizing these platforms come and go. You should not have all your eggs in one basket. You should not just be using Twitter and relying all of your career, your socialization, your networking on Twitter itself. I think people's instinct will be more to like branch out and try other platforms and like, as opposed to go deeper into one platform and pay Twitter for these features and things like that.
Yeah. So will Twitter die? We don't know, but get your followers off of there if you have a big following and send them somewhere else. Just in case it starts to die, because it's getting weird. And the vibes aren't good, I would say, overall.
Vibes are not good.
So that's really all I've got to say.
That's it for now.
Plenty of people pay for Twitter followers.
Bazinga.
So
Dang.
true.
Oh wait, also we didn't talk about the Everything app thing that he was talking about.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so what was the whole conversation? He was like, Elon wants to make Twitter the Everything app in the same way that like WeChat is the Everything app in China, and you can do payments through there. You can obviously like DM people, but they also have now a news feed that you could get news and like see your friends and followers like stuff on your feed. So like basically it's like every social media but all in one. That was another big claim he made, which is interesting.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, his Everything app. Yeah, if you guys don't know about WeChat, it's huge in China, and they have like social media, they have like texting, they have video, they have in-app shopping. They've kind of got it all. And I guess he's inspired by that. Jeez, there are so many ads on this.
I know.
Forbes
I was like noticing that.
This is crazy. Maybe I'd pay $8 to get all of these ads. I mean, maybe if they start putting an insane number of ads on Twitter, I'll rethink.
Right.
But Yeah, he wants to make the super app, which WeChat is a super app. Yeah, I mean, WeChat, you can, hail a cab, buy groceries, book a doctor's appointment,
That's
purchase
actually kind of
insurance.
wild.
That is wild. Yeah, and Elon said there's no WeChat equivalent out of China. There's a real opportunity to create that.
I feel like, I don't know. Do you think that could happen? Do you think that Twitter could become that?
I don't know if actually, I think there's a difference in if like the Chinese government might be more inclined to allow monopoly, right? And let WeChat go for that if they're like, allowing the Chinese government to snoop, I guess, or just control a lot of the new features. I don't know that the US government would allow a company to do all of that.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of doubtful. I think that's a lot. There's a lot of social media apps right now, and it's like, I don't think people necessarily want that either. Like, I wouldn't want one app for everything because, what if that company gets messed up or like, what we're seeing happen to Twitter? Like, I don't necessarily want to be on one platform and putting all my eggs in one basket.
Right. Yeah, here's an interesting message from Michael. No, Twitter will not die. Come on, seriously. Elon does not lose, ever. It will be way better.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people think that way. I think a lot of people also are concerned. I definitely think if the verification thing goes wrong and bots start getting verified and scamming tons of people, it could go down.
Yeah. Or just like, if there's no, like, I don't know, just the employee situation at Twitter, I think is a big risk right now too. But we will see.
Ultimately, we will see. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know how, I guess, one more time, how Twitter, other than the bot problem, which I do view as a pretty big issue,
Right.
how Twitter does become much better. Like, I think it does a pretty good job of being a place for conversation online more than other social medias, which are now more entertainment based. And I like that Twitter is mostly about, conversation building. So if it does become like a video app, I don't know if that would be better to me. But we'll see. I mean, and I don't know that anything is ever way too big to fail. I don't know if anyone is ever way too big to fail.
I would agree with that.
We'll have to see. I mean, we'll just have to see.
Well, we'll talk at the end of the year and we'll see if Vine's back.
Yeah. So true. Yeah, maybe I'll be addicted to Vine again and I'll eat my words. But all right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Really interesting topic today. There's lots going on. I'm sure more will be coming out. So make sure to keep up with the news, keep up with Elon's Twitter. He always seems to be saying everything himself too. So lots to look at online right now. Grace, it's been real as always.
Jack. Yes, good combo. We will see you all next week. No, not next week. We will see y'all next week on Friday.
All right. Have a good weekend, everyone, and get your followers on Twitter just in case. Bye.
Bye.